Hey, what's up guys? So in this video, we're going to be doing some system design and going over designing a hotel reservation system. Now, I'm going to be doing a lot more of this and not doing Leetcode because just the system design I think is really, really important. And I think it's also like really confusing. And I think it'd be really cool too in the future to even do like applied types of things for this kind of this, of these things. And so I want to do that kind of approach and then also prepare you guys for interviews. And so like, let's say an interview comes to you and they ask you, hey, can you design a hotel reservation system? And like, what's going to be your answer to that? So for this, let's say that the interviewer tells you that they want a hotel system. And let's say that it's going to be a thing where like for these requirements, that users can book through some kind of website. We want to allow like overbooking, like for up to 10%. So essentially we want people, because people cancel so often, we want to maximize our profits for the business. And then we want them to overbook. So when people cancel, we're still in the green. And so we actually just made more money because the people cancel. We're not giving them refunds. They think they're getting refunds? Heck no. Let's go into our pocket potentially. So let's say, so essentially like the features are going to look like, we need to like show the hotel pages, right? Show the room pages, and then booking, page / reserve a room. Then we also want an admin panel so that we can make changes. And then we also want overbooking. And then let's say that like the requirements of this, it's like a small business. So this isn't like actually like really, really killer, like at all, like in terms of like scale. So like if we look at non-functional requirements, well, then what we're looking at is we're just going to be looking at, obviously 2 people can book at the same time. So we want to prevent that. So just like prevent like double booking. That should really never happen. And then we don't want the like site should not be slow. And then we also don't want the site to crash, like shouldn't crash, but only like, maybe 100 people are going to use this, maybe, or maybe, like 10,000 people are going to use this like a day or something. So we can actually get away with like not that much scale. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 types of things here. So we're going to have like some kind of like server for this admin panel. And then this is going to allow them, and we can actually cross this through and have a, just a main server. So we'll have like the client server or like just the client, let's say, and the client, this is like just going to be like some kind of user, whatever. Better yet, let's actually just put let's draw it out actually. Let's say like there's like a user. And so what they're going to do is they're not going to be able to access the admin, but they are going to be able to like access like the web page. And then when they access the web page, well, they can view the pages, and then we're going to be pulling stuff out, from those pages. And so we'll build out this thing here. And then in order to disable people or like prevent them from being able to like touch this, we can build out like a little wall, as Trump says, build a wall. And this can be like a VPN access, like a firewall here, and we can allow it to where only people of a certain IP address are allowed to access this. And through that, we can actually have an admin panel where admins can only view it and admins can only see it. And this will, increase the security of the application. Then we want to, of course, go into our database. So then we're going to have another thing here for our database. And so this can be like the hotel database. And in terms of database choices, right? So because we do want to handle like this double booking, and also the volume really isn't that bad. I think it makes sense to just do this as a relational database. And so we can just have several tables. We can have like a hotel table. We can have a room table or something. And then we can also have like an inventory table because we need to track whether a room is taken or not and do that. Yeah. So when someone wants to book, they're going to go into the hotel, the database, and say like, okay, well, I want to view the room. And so then we go and then we like fetch and we give them back the room. And actually this is wrong. Like, so like you would think, okay, well, we can just store like if someone wants to see a room, well, we cannot just store rooms and HTML and pictures and videos onto a relational database. That doesn't work. Actually, you don't really do that for any databases. And so this is where people potentially could get tripped up, where you actually need a place to store your video. And so what you actually would do is you would have something and it would say like, I don't know, like let's say it's Magic Kingdom. Let's say we're at Disney World, Magic Kingdom, hotel room, and then it has like an ID, right? So ID, you go to like 21 or something. What we'll see here is that like, okay, cool. We can't just return HTML and images and all of that stuff. But what we can do is for the ID, so like for a room that's at like ID, right? So it's going to have like some kind of ID, and it's going to have like some hotel ID or whatever. When we mismatch and get these, well, then we can also return like a Google Drive link, if you could think about it that way, or an S3 link, whatever. Doesn't really matter, but we just need to get the file. So then we grab the file and then we send it back to the user. And that file is going to have the HTML, it's going to have the images and everything like that. And so it's not the database that's sending it back, but we're talking to some third party like object storage that is going to be doing it. Storage, right? So just blob storage, object storage, AWS S3, we could talk about, but we'll fetch it there and give it to the client. Actually give the S3 link to the client, sorry. And then the client is the one that's going to be pulling it. And then we'll also just give all the room information. So that's how the flow is going to work for someone wants to view a room. Then we also have the flow of what happens when they want to book the room. Well, when they want to book, we'll just say, hey, client, I want to book. Okay, cool. They click the book button via an API route. So we're going to have like, various routes here and all of that stuff. So it'll be something like, like a V1 book and things like that, which again, I'm not too concerned about the APIs, but it'll trigger it. The server will trigger it. We can even call this a client server. The server is going to trigger it. It'll go into the database. It's going to pick out one of the hotels based off the dates. So it'll search, find the dates, and then it'll retrieve it. And yeah, that is like that. So this is like really, again, I just want to make this really, really quick for like designing a hotel system, which is that like this is what it would look like. This is how you kind of talk about it. Again, there's tons of things that we could deep dive into. I cannot design a hotel reservation system in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, but I do want to give you guys kind of something that's like, okay, what is system design and how do we actually build this thing out? So when an interviewer asks you, how do you design a hotel reservation system? You can at least understand that like, okay, we're going to set up some kind of VPN access, block off this. We're going to be designing the server. We're going to be maintaining the hotel like database. And we're going to be pulling from the inventory and making sure that, things don't go bad. And we're going to be using AWS S3 to store this HTML pages because we know you cannot put everything into a database. And I wonder if I could show like a real time, like kind of application of this, but I think that might be out of scope. I think it might not be really worth it. So I'll see you guys in another video. And yeah, that's about it. So hopefully this is helpful. If you guys like videos like this, again, you could leave a comment below and I'll make more system design videos. If not, well, then I know maybe this isn't it. But see you guys, peace and good luck.